Hey everybody, it's pal Drew Dracy, a longtime comic book industry, you know what I mean, longtime industry veteran for DC, Marvel, everybody, celebrating my 30th year, and I've come up with this new channel. I've been putting up almost daily episodes, and I really greatly appreciate the growing audience. I'm so happy, and I'm getting more subscribers by the day. I mean, it's like 110 now or something like that. But they'll tell a friend, and if you like and share, that would be great. If you share it with a Bronze Age fan, Silver Age fan, etc. Well, this was a really nice surprise when this came out. Black Goliath only lasted 5 issues, and that I've said this repeatedly, so forgive me for repeating this if you're new to the channel. At 25 cents, very shortly it became 30 cents. And all these new books got on the chopping block. There was Inhumans, there was Kirby's 2001, there was just a whole host of books I love, Supervillain Team Up. And but in the meantime, found this on the stands. I think it was at a drugstore. I don't know. It's really cool. I think that's a Rich Buckler cover. That's got to be. Because he could pull off the Kirby and the realistic as well. That's a nicely framed cover. And I never knew anything about Black Goliath before. But I like the costume. I know it seems dated, but so what? But it's by my then favorite art team of George Tuska and Vinnie Coletta. And as I said before, George Tuska would leave open areas, and so Vince Coletta could pretty much ink everything without erasing stuff. I know people, I just have to get that out of the way. Conceived and written by Tony Isabella. And love that splash. Starts out with our hero. I've always loved that effect. It's just done with a, it's either done with a white pencil or a, I can't remember what it is, but it looks really cool. And it's really good storytelling. So our hero Bill Foster, who used to be the assistant to Hank Pym when Hank Pym was having his growth problems. I don't mean a growth on his body. I mean he stuck his Giant Man for like he was 10 feet tall, and he just felt like a freak. But then Bill came along, and this was 65, 66. I mean, Marvel was really advanced about having African American characters. And the most famous one is Joe Robertson, who is he's, I can't remember what he is. He works with J. Jonah Jameson. Well, this guy's got him cornered. He's taking off his jacket, and I love that, the knife almost to the neck. Then he shoots up. What great perspective. That's so real. It feels right. And that's not easy to do. So he grabs a garbage can. But there's some things sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, metaphorically speaking. So we get some background of his story. Because, sir, would you care to comment how you came to be in this unusual situation? I don't want to comment. I don't want to say nothing. I just want to get down. And every 2 pages is an ad. It's a miracle I became a comics fan in the mid-'70s, because there was 17-page stories, maybe 18 if you were lucky. Hank Pym and the Wasp were still in the hospital after... it's a long story. The Stranger, who wasn't really a stranger, he was the Toad, and they went. It was the Beast's initiation to the Avengers. Sorry, I went so long on that. And there, the convenient shadow to hide his, this is a family show. So he goes into this think tank that he's part of, and this curly-haired guy he's a real dick. And I do like the different body type. Like, he's a heavy set guy, but he's, it's cool because so many comics at this time, everybody had super muscles. Reed Richards had super muscles, the Torch, and when John Byrne came along with his run on Fantastic Four, his lengthy run, he kind of gave them regular bodies. Because, I mean, Reed Richards would not have time to work out. Eighth Laboratory struck by Raiders. That's it. And here's Atom Smasher. Kind of cool. I like the design. Hiya, kitties. Who's that? Coolest splash. Coolest reintroduction of a superhero ever, in my opinion. That's just so perfect. He's just kind of like, hey. He's like, let me get dressed. Get my one glove on. Slap them bitches. Now, I've always liked giant-sized characters, and for the longest time, Marvel DC just had characters that were kind of wimpy. They didn't go full bore. That is amazing. And I got to give it up for Coletta. Really nice stuff. Really good stuff. And now we go to the Defenders. I miss the all-action issues. I'm not saying you have to do it every month. I'm not even having to say you have to do it every other month, but that's what's missing in modern comics. And I know I sound like an old geezer because I am an old geezer. It's just, these were just tremendous fun. And it was just, characters dressed, it's like a cosplay gone horribly wrong. And here comes Giffen bringing on the Kirby. I love that. And we got Zodiac with his own new, is it called a Zodiac group? Let's see. Scorpio has his own Zodiac group. And they're so weird. And there was a Zodiac group that came out around issue 72 of Avengers in the about 1970. And so they did one new one for whole cloth. Look at that. It's like every inch is covered with stuff. So fun. Giffen is just I actually have covered a lot of Giffen books on this channel. But, I'm going back to stuff I love. Bam. Classic Kirby pose. And millions of artists have done this. And it's a perfect shot. Comes in, takes out Taurus. Blam. And Nighthawk, he's trapped, but his strength doubles at night. And great sequence there. And Scorpio he had a fridge full of beer, and he'd have a beer once in a while, and he was feeling maudlin. And Hulk wants you, Hornhead. Do you hear, Hulk? And little beers flying around. And Aquarius and Gemini are just like sitting this out. And I loved Moon Knight in the team, but I wish he had stayed. But looking back, it was a wise decision because he was a solo guy. And when he got his own book, it was a backup story in the Hulk magazine that came out, and then he graduated to his own book. Virgo's dead. He just stillborn machine woman. It's wow. Look a little closer to that bad boy. How about that? And then this spread here was it came out like a year later in the Marvel Treasury editions as a 2-page splash. And even though it's kind of recent, it still worked. It's just so much fun. Fun. Oh, I put some effort. I love the Long Island Hangout. They did this with Peter Parker's apartment and where the Daily Bugle is. It was just a thing at the time, and it takes a lot of time to think that stuff out. So, what is he? Oh, Leo starts scratching the hell out of Hellcat, and she's hurt, bad, burning, almost paralyzed with pain, and kicks him over. He ends up in this big basin. I don't want to say basin. It's like a pool or something. It's essentially a death trap. So it fills up the water and drowns you. And that was something Moon Knight got stuck at one time, but he had a real trick on how to survive until the water went out, until it drained. Really clever. Look at this. That's it. Knock his block off, Hulk, old pal. Don't let him give you any guff. And what's great was Rock'em Sock'em Robots were like a big hit toy that, you basically have your opposing robots punching each other. They're made of plastic. And it was this little, it's a little stage or something. It's so cool. But I love how he goes like that, and it works. It just does. So, wow. Ross Andrew. And Scorpio's really feeling like he's in despair. And that's not Nick Fury, but it is an LMD that Scorpio developed, life model decoy, to keep him company, except that he can't fight Scorpio when he does stuff bad. And, it has a real dour ending, but, it's okay. It's stuff happens. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, the first, I think 13 issues of S.H.I.E.L.D. or 15 were original content. First by Jim Steranko, and then on to Lee Elias. Oh, no. I'm trying to think of that other guy who's really good. I did a previous episode, so. Now this goes back to like the pre-Steranko era with Kirby. And there was like a lot of books at the time, like the Hulk after Ditko left the Tales to Astonish. Kirby would do a lot of layouts for other artists. They would try and see what would work. And there were times that, I don't think the book really sold that well at first. Sold enough. Well, so Hydra has Nick Fury captured. Your food, Colonel Fury. We hope you will not be disturbed by our rather elaborate precautions. So they have one of those wiring wheels that come in. Like, have you ever been to like a KFC or a McDonald's that's in a area that's really run down and may have crime rampant? And I've seen those carousels at some of those, and it's interesting. But he opens it up. This steak turns to a sirloin right away. How prescient is Jack Kirby? Yet another innovation, because they do have nowadays they have a flaming ration heater, and it's exothermic technology with a chemical reaction. It's like 100 degrees in 12 minutes. Essentially, it's magnesium metal alloyed with a small amount of iron and table salt, and it's basically a flameless ration heater, or FRH. And see, I wrote that down. You think I'm going to remember that? But there's more of it on Wikipedia. It's great. But I just knew there was something like that. Okay. And you can tell Kirby's just kind of, he's figuring the penciler would do the rest. I don't know why that's centered on Hydra, because he's not really holding a shield. It's sort of like a next issue. Very, very unusual. Jack Kirby inked by John Severin. Totally weird. And this, I don't remember. Oh, it's Severin, yeah. I think it might actually be just Severin, yeah. Ooh. Love Live Man in the White Room. Don Hex doing the actual drawing over the layouts, and then Joe Sinnott comes in there, and you saw that a lot with Spider-Man at the time. It was like the late '60s when John Romita was just overworked, and John Buscema stepped in for about a year, and then Jim Mooney inked it, and I think, give me a second. Oh, you know what it was? It was they did John Romita. John Buscema, and then John Romita, and then Jim Mooney, and it really looked nice. I'll have to show that sometimes. But there's a lot of blah 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 early on, and I think that's contributed to. It just wasn't working at the time. Operation Mind Blast. Frank Ray, aka Frank Giacoya. Sometimes with these characters, they might take a ethnic name and chop it down short to fit in the credits. Like John Tartaglione a Paisan, he basically went by John Tartag a lot. So there's the lady from Hydra, Laura Brown. It's amazing. These ideas just burst out of Kirby. So next issue. So it lasted about 18 issues. Then the stories got they continued in order with a short-lived 5-issue short-lived series called Nick Fury and his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it got you end of Kirby going into Steranko era. So here we go. Ghost Banner, If You Dare. I love that. And I bought it off the stands. I bought Charlton very occasionally, just like DC. I was just a Marvel guy, but that just grabbed me. And it's got top-notch creators. It doesn't have credit here, but that is Tom Sutton. And he's a guy I should explore more of his work. The problem with him is he never connected with a lot of artists that were used to seeing superhero sheen. I mean, everything was that way for a long time with superheroes. Now we go into Pat Boyette. And he's another guy. He doesn't fit in with the superhero stuff, but I would have loved to see him on Doctor Strange. How cool would that be? But yeah, he's actually kind of doing bigger panels than usual. Ooh, Andy Gibb poster. Must get. Is it still available? Nah. Okay. So yeah, this seems like a rush job for him, but his faces and figures are just really cool. You're going to hell, man. The only way to go. Of course, it's Ditko. I don't know if chances are Joe Gill wrote this. He did. He held the record for writing the most comics over his career, and then I think he was tied with Robert Kanigher. But Chuck Dixon, he's either caught up to him or he's surpassed him, because Chuck writes several comics a month, and back in the 90s he wrote 5 comics a month. So he's always got a lot of ideas. So, but still, I mean, great stuff. And Ditko's language that he's using for this, it just really draws you in. So there's some kind of ghost haunting. I can't remember the exact story. I'll have to reread it tonight. But I guess maybe I killed somebody off, and I'll let you figure it out. I'm trying to find all the Charlton comics. Now, here's the trick with Charlton Comics is they reprinted a lot of their own stuff. So you might see a new cover, but maybe it would be a reprint of an old Ditko story. But thankfully, to my knowledge, these are all new stories. And so they really padded out a lot of issues. So, excuse me. I hit the cough button. And what I thought was the greatest comic in the world when I was a kid was not Brand Echh. It only lasted, it lasted 13 issues, but number 10 was a double-sized fill-in issue, a reprint issue already. So, just wacky stuff. Marie Severin, her and others in these stories have the Wallywood Mad Magazine style of humor, where there'd be a lot of little words that are like signs, really goofy stuff. So, the origin of Forbush Band. And there's Jack Kirby doing one of his rare humor stories with lettering by Stan Lee. But see, like Stamp Out Mongooses and Starch. There's a lot of that kind of stuff, and that is what Wally Wood had. He basically developed that language. I hit the cough button. I'm getting much better at that. I did that crappy before. But yeah, this is totally Wally Wood-esque. And so Forbush Man's reading the paper, and all this chaos is going on. He's looking, da-dee-da. It's him, the deadly juggernaut. No. What do you mean, no? You should have said, it is he. Little stuff like that. He tightens his galoshes, and Juggernaut gets zonked. Quick drying cement. He gets stuck in there, which is funny because years and years later, when Roger Stern and John Romita Jr. did Spider-Man versus Juggernaut, which is two incredible stories. It's been reprinted in many forms, like a square-bound 2-issue collection, and I really don't think Roger Stern ripped that off because it's such an obscure thing. Now here's something I love too, Gene Dean Colan. His humor work is so magnificent. It's so charming. He did quite a few stories in Not Brand Echh. So you weren't getting any pikers. You were getting like the top flight artists. But hark, look, wonder, what could it be? That's Coney Island, you dope. No, not that far yonder. I mean, over yonder there, at panel right. Quit, stop yakking, and give me a hand with it already. Just because I'm not as popular as you two is no reason for why I have to do all the work here. Very, very... Oh. So, shut up and help me shove him in the hatch, Iron Man. Always giving orders. These days, pow, right in the old antenna. It still makes me laugh. It just works because Gene Colan is just totally... he's not doing the heavy shadows that he does in his regular superhero books, but he's just having a fantastic time with the exaggerations. Look at that. Beautiful Saturday morning shows. A little before my time, though. I love this last panel. Sunk Mariner, gosh, I haven't seen you since you were nothing but a tadpole. Anyway, Giant Sam, do you believe I'm really Charlie America? How should I know? Besides, don't you know it's impossible to talk underwater? Glub, glub, glub. So fun. Now we get Marie the She with Stan Lee doing some amazing stuff. Hulk and Thing are vying for Alicia's affections. So nice. Stomp, stomp. Rips the bus in half. And what's great is there's several panels that borrow from Fantastic Four 25, I think it is. Not right here, but fancy footwork there. So that was something I think Hulk did in that issue. And the power lines. Wow. Man, oh man. Great fun. Great fun. What can you say? It's fun, fun, fun. And thanks for watching this, and thanks for liking it, and thanks for sharing it, and thank you for subscribing it. And hey, I'm going to do more of these. I'm probably going to front load a bunch of these because I'm going to Pittsburgh for a week and a half or so because taking care of my mom. You know, she's 88, and you know, it's just I like to fill in when I can. I'm down in Georgia, 12 hours away, and so if there's a gap, then you'll know why. That's all, everybody, and talk to you soon. And thanks again for checking out my channel. There are thousands and thousands, if not millions, of YouTube channels that you could have watched, but you chose to watch mine, and I don't take that for granted. I love it, sharing the love of comics. Later.